is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now,
whoa! Well, my brothers and sisters at, man, them beautiful patriots around the world. One love to the human race. Y'all here for it, man? Here it is. You heard it. Obama sounds the alarm. Democrats panic. They know that more and more and more blacks, hate to pull the race card, but we have to. It's election time. That more and more blacks are for Trump. To that Republican Party. Especially black men. And he confirms that black men are not voting for Kamala Harris. Oh boy, make sure y'all hit that like button. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. We keep it real. No sugarcoating it. Let's jump in.
I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. He's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in
I'll go for Trump. I go for Donald Trump. Me too. I go for Trump.
Trump the best.
Nah, I'm a Trump supporter.
I'm a Trump supporter, man.
Trump.
Hey, y'all know we gonna need Trump in that joint.
But everything Trump over on this side of town.
Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him. Are you the great?
Boy, you just can't make this up, man. But I told y'all it was coming. If you missed the past previous videos, we told you, be ready for it. They've already planned this out. Especially after they've seen the polls and the data. And they see that blacks, that the tide is turning with blacks. And again, before we get into it, I want to say this out loud and proud. One love to the human race. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't even care what you smell like. I know people say, Rick, why do you say that? Stop saying that. I don't care what you smell like. I got love for you and your family, your friends, the neighbors, the strangers around the world, man. It's time to come together. They want us divided. But they see where that black vote is going to. And how it's not how it used to be. So they say, Obama, hey, put this cape on. We need you to go out there. We need you to go out there. They are panicking, shaking out their shoes right now, you guys. Democrats are panicking. But what did they expect? And I'm not gonna come on here and we're not gonna do that, Hindu or Irish or Indian or we're not gonna do none of that on this video. Identity politics. And the people that are simply going out for identity politics are a part of the problem. And there are some that are choosing identity politics over policy, which is just pathetic and crazy. And you are a part of the problem. But you just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. They are screaming, shaking and panicking right now, man. Panic. But you've seen all year long of blacks, especially the black community, speaking out. And what Joe Biden say? If you don't vote Democrat, then you ain't black. If you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. And he done dropped his slushy, his snow cone in the sand. He don't even know where he at. He can't make it up a flight of stairs. He walking off. He screaming live on stage. Don't know who to introduce next or what to say next. You know, the teleprompter then glitched out and stopped loading. Same with this lady. They can't go off teleprompters. They can't go off script. Puppets. Puppet strings. And for that fella, his puppet strings broke. He blew the motor and the transmission. It's during that debate. If that didn't happen, he would still be in the race. Oh, I stepped aside. No, they got you out of there. And this fella here, Obama, had a big play in that. He came in there smiling and sweating. Him and Big Mike. Big Mike. Nancy came in there. We know what happened. Hillary with that big bottle of hot sauce. Hillary's still carrying around that bottle of hot sauce. Unbelievable. But you just can't make this stuff up, y'all. I couldn't wait to get into this, man. I couldn't. You know, last video of the night tonight, couldn't wait to get into this, man. Because we knew it was coming. We told you it was coming. We've been telling you it was coming weeks ago. Almost a month ago, we told you this was coming. Be ready for it. And the first thing he hits it with is the black vote. Brothers, us brothers got to come together and vote for Kamala Harris. Us brothers, black men. We don't have the same kind of energy and turnout right now as it was in these communities and neighborhoods as it was when I was running. We got to flip, we got to change that. Boy. But a lot of blacks are voting for your convicted felon. You know, since we're in a banana republic now, since, you know, kangaroos are jumping, we done covered sham trials, you know. And again, if they can do it to Trump, they can do it to you. Sham after sham after sham, rigged debates, you know. He's been shot at. I mean, it just, you know, unbelievable. And again, everything y'all have done to the man, you've made him more popular with the black vote. That's what they don't understand. That's what kills me. Everything y'all have done has made this man even more popular to the black community. Do you know how many people I've talked to? You know how many blacks I've talked to and say, yeah, man, that Trump fella, man, I feel where he's coming from. This is ridiculous. Now I see it. Now I see the corruption. You was right. At first I didn't believe. Tide is turning, man. And you see them lifelong Democrats, them leaving liberals are packing up their bags and they are done with this party. You know, it's bigger than just the black vote, but that's how Obama's going to start it off. So let's go and get into it, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button again, man. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these updates, man. It's getting realer and realer every single day. And we are in crunch time with 20 some days out. And we encourage everybody to go out and vote, man.
Fox News alert, Barack Obama thinks Kamala Harris has officially plateaued. And behind the scenes, he's saying worse. Kamala's losing the black vote. He was caught saying this just moments ago in Pittsburgh.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
Now they're going to need white dudes and black dudes for Harris hats. Now, the Obamas and the Clintons are telling her no more talking. The men are taking over.
They need to be sharp. They need to be aggressive. They need to stop answering questions and start asking questions. I would put President Obama out to make that. He's only got a 92% approval with Democrats. He only is the author, the father of 23 million people having insurance. I would have President Clinton talking, going on these local TV stations, talking about how tariffs are going to destroy the economy of Wisconsin or Michigan. The whole campaign needs to be much more aggressive and much less passive than they are.
This is a softer, gentler coup. She's still the nominee, but Obama and Bubba are going to be taking charge. They're letting Bill Clinton loose. The comeback kid is hitting the campaign trail for Harris. And the Messiah, he is back. Barack's in Pittsburgh, and the media is orgasmic.
There probably isn't another human being on the planet right now capable of providing more of an electric jolt to the Democrats' most winning coalition than President Barack Obama.
Barack Obama really has become the country's chief explainer in chief, the person who wants to explain the moment we're in, the position we are.
He wants his fourth, fifth term, sixth term.
The stakes.
He's obviously one of the best, if not the best, orators in politics that we've seen in many years.
Barack is here to mansplain Harris to the country. You know, when the young lady says holistic, what she really means is, here he was just moments ago.
This election's going to be tight because there are a lot of Americans who are still struggling out there. So I get it, why people are looking to shake things up. I mean, I am the hopey-changey guy. So I understand people feeling frustrated and feeling we can do better. What I cannot understand is why anybody would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you.
He just said America's struggling and wants change from the Biden-Harris administration. And Harris just said she doesn't represent change. They don't have it this time, guys. Obama once said Kamala Harris was the best-looking attorney general in the country. He said she's Jamaican me crazy. Can he push his crush over the finish line? Feels like it's too late. Everyone knows Kamala Harris is Joe Biden.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Bam, that's it right there. That's the campaign right there. That's it. Most people with common sense, that's it for them right there. Most people with common sense, they've heard enough. Yeah, I'm not voting for that. Joe Biden 2.0.
After she said that, she went on Colbert and somehow made it worse.
Under a Harris administration,
we don't want to get our video blocked, so we're going to have to let it play without y'all seeing it. I'm so sorry, y'all.
What would the major changes be, and what would stay the same?
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I noticed.
And so that would be one change in terms of. But also, I think it's important to say with 28 days to go, I'm not Donald Trump. And so when we think about the significance of what this next generation of leadership looks like, were I to be elected president, it is about, frankly, I love the American people, and I believe in our country.
Dreams and aspirations. Unbelievable. You just can't make it up, y'all. You just can't make it up.
Oh my God. Kamala has had 2 months to come up with an answer to one question. Who are you? The best she could do is, I'm not Joe Biden and I'm not Donald Trump. That's it. The core question of this election is, how is Kamala different than Joe? They staged a coup because Joe is Joe and he couldn't win. You can't say you're the same guy. She just said, I do all of these things that this terrible guy did, the same stuff. The guy that was so terrible we couped him, but I'm totally different from him. But I can't put my finger on how. Kamala just went on television and said she's running for president because she's not Trump or Biden. I mean, we can go out on the street right here and pick anyone, and they have the same qualifications. CNN's not even convinced.
Vice President Harris has been asked repeatedly how she's different than President Biden, and some people think she's been tripped up by answering that. How do you think she is different than President Biden?
Well, first of all, whatever the differences is between them, it's not nearly as vast as the difference between her and Donald Trump. She's obviously a woman. She is a woman of color, and she is of a new generation.
Kamala's not Joe Biden because she's younger, black, and wears high heels. That's the best Democrats can do. He's a surrogate for the Harris campaign, and the only difference he can point out are biological. They can't answer the question because she's not different than Biden. She's just a machine politician that supported party bosses to get promoted. And she's been promoted all the way to the top. And she's still loyal to the party boss because she doesn't know any better. It's the only thing she knows that works. Blind loyalty. She's never had to do anything on her own. She's only had to say yes to get ahead. She's no different than Joe. They're just branding her differently. The Democrats spent $1 billion on Turn the Page, A New Direction, millions of dollars on commercials, signs, T-shirts, and she just lit it on fire. They say MAGA's a cult. What do you call this? She can't think of one thing she'd do differently than Joe Biden.
Not one.
Not Afghanistan, spending, the border. I can think of a few things I would have done differently than Trump. January 6th comes to mind. I'd do that differently. Kamala should try it. Pick something that didn't go well with Joe. Look around. There's plenty to choose from. She's too afraid to pick because she's just a puppet. The machine won't even tell her something to say about how she's different from Biden because it would make the machine look bad. They'd have to admit that they screwed up because Biden's just a puppet too. And Democrats can never admit they made a mistake because they've been lying about how great everything's been.
Yep.
Kamala, who's been in power for 4 years, then said the American dream is gone.
The American dream right now is really elusive for far too many people in terms of even aspiring to own a home. It's too expensive.
I mean, if you're Obama, you have no choice but to step in. You send her to do interviews, not in the Lion's Den. You send her in to do The View, to do Colbert. And she says, I'm Joe Biden and I killed the American dream. The only thing different about Kamala was her accent.
Have you no empathy, man?
Oh, man. Again, we don't want our video to get blocked, so.
You know, for the suffering of other people, have you no sense of purpose?
Yeah. It's like a new accent every week, you know.
Was that a leprechaun? Was that Indian? Was that Jamaican? What was that? I'm getting so... I mean, Kamala Harris has now reached the beer drinking stage. Watch.
One of the old songs.
Yep. This all can't be on here, y'all. I wish it could. But us independent content creators, us independent media, they take our videos down.
They just want somebody they can have a beer with. So would you like to have a beer with me so I can tell people what that's like? Okay. This was Now, we asked ahead of time because I can't just be giving a drink to the Vice President of the United States without asking. You asked for Miller High Life. You asked for Miller High Life. I'm just curious.
Okay, the last time I had beer was at a baseball game with Doug.
Okay, so cheers. There
cheers.
You go. There you go. Ooh. That tastes like the beautiful city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Champagne and beers.
There you go.
When female politicians start sipping beer on TV,
Man.
they know they're losing. And they're especially losing men.
And they gonna show this Hillary. Yeah, Kamala got to come out there with that big bottle of hot sauce next. I'm telling you, y'all know yeah, go and do what Hillary did. Hillary said it worked. That big bottle of hot sauce.
Because it looks really dark in color, but it's very light in flavor. It is. So yeah, exactly. You get a lot of them in my church or something like that. Cheers.
Cheers. That's right. That's good.
Oh, you're so I'm gonna have to get on this. You have a place. He's getting in on it.
We've a politician sipped a beer on a late night show. I've seen more edgier stuff.
Man, I don't want my video to get taken down for these visuals.
You can't fake a personality with beer and accents. So they're turning to Obama. And this. That and said, Hillary, get me some Doritos. I'm going to Michigan. Democrats are just throwing things at the wall, hoping it sticks now. While Trump's just doing his thing. He went on a podcast with a bunch of comedians, and here's what he said about Biden.
He has one ability I don't have. Yeah. He sleeps. He can sleep. This guy goes on a beach and he lays down on one of those, 6 ounce, they weigh 6 ounces and he can't lift it. Yeah. They're meant, and somebody convinced him he looks good in a bathing suit. And when you're 82, typically bathing suits aren't going to make you look great. Right, you're not going to be enhanced. Yeah. All right? It's just one of those things. I can't be sure about that, but typically you don't.
Depends what he's packing. He could.
I don't know what the hell he's packing, but I don't want to, and I don't want to know either. I don't know.
Now, what makes Trump interesting is that he's unpredictable. Kamala, you could see what's coming a mile away.
I do a thing called a weave, and there are those that are fair that say, "This guy is so genius," and then others would say, "Oh, he rambled." I don't ramble. If I start a story, what you do is you weave things and you do it. You have to have certain things. You need an extraordinary memory because you have to come back to where you started. Yes. You always, a weave is only good if you come back.
They don't give you credit for that.
Yeah, it's true.
That you could go all the way over here and then get back.
I can go so far here or there. And I can come back to exactly where I started. Now, someday when you don't come back to where you started,
you're Biden.
Then you say,
Trump now ahead in Pennsylvania, Michigan. He only needs to win one of those. And then that's all she wrote. He's a favorite in the betting markets and has the momentum. It's close, don't get me wrong, but you'd rather be Trump than Kamala right now. His internal numbers must be really good because he's making a play for Virginia, Minnesota, New Jersey, and I don't even think this is possible. I shouldn't even say it, but he said it. Even New York.
We just rented Madison Square Garden. We're going to make a play.
We're gonna go out with a bang, baby.
We're going to make a play for New York. Hasn't been done in a long time. It hasn't been done in many decades.
Fox.
We are gonna make it big, man, and we're gonna end it big, you guys. But yeah, she's losing the black vote, man. And they got to send Barack around in his Superman cape. What do y'all think of that, man? We knew it was coming, though. We called it out. We knew what it was, man. I told y'all months ago it was going to happen. Here it is. Now, I didn't think it was going to be this big today where he just flat out announces that, hey, the black vote isn't there. Especially us brothers, us black men. It just isn't there. We're not voting for Kamala. What's going on? Come on, black people. She's just like us. She's just like us. So I didn't think it was gonna start off like that, but that's how it starts off. So we're gonna be covering this thing tightly, and we are in crunch time. So be ready for the next couple of videos. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this, man. It needs to be out here. We're keeping it real. We're gonna continue to wake more people up, and we encourage everybody to go out and vote. Too big to rig, man. Too big to rig. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.